Welcome back, listeners, to your AfterBuzz TV after show for Game of Thrones, Season 6, Episode 5, The Door. I have 3 words for you. Hold the door.
Hold the door!
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin!
Woo! We got a lot of stuff going on in this episode today. There is time traveling and things going on aplenty. Welcome, listeners. We're here to talk about The Door today. My name is Kyle Maddock. To the left of me, I have Kristen Snyder.
Hey guys, what's up? Happy to be here.
Over there, I got Sara Stretton.
I really was expecting another scream for Kristen.
Hold the door!
There we go. I knew it was coming.
And last but certainly not least, Ryan Malaty.
Vala Magulis, everyone. I'm Ryan Malaty, and I'm sitting here at youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV, where the best fans in the world for Game of Thrones and beyond are sitting right here, typing away about this crazy episode. So please come join us. And if you're not watching live, please join us on YouTube. Give us your comments and let's talk Game of Thrones. This episode is pretty nuts. Kyle?
Oh man, well, I guess we have to start with Bran, right? We got to start with the kid with all this crazy stuff going on. First thing we learn through his flashbacks in this episode is that the children of the forest are the creators of the White Walkers. This is some crazy stuff going on right here. They had a guy tied to a tree because there was this battle going on between the children of the forest and the first men. Way back when, and they have a guy tied up to the tree, and they stab him through the heart with
what looks like dragon glass.
Look like dragon glass. There we go, and it creates the Night King. It seems like so we get the origin of the big baddie here. What do you guys think about this?
I feel like if they can do it once, they can do it again. So what if you were to take someone who was primarily royal and good and try to turn them into the Night King?
Well, we don't know that guy wasn't good, right?
That's a good point. I'm just like wondering, can you do it again? Like there had to be another element there. You can't just be stabbed with dragon glass.
I just don't understand how you come up with kind of this crazy sacrificial type ceremony under this tree. You like great sound effects that just crunches through the body, and then you seem to not know how to fix your out of control problem. Like
the sun got out of hand. When Obi-Wan trained Anakin, he didn't know he'd lose control.
Yeah.
No one ever knows they lose control. It just happens.
Yes, but that's normally because of like what you assume is like character flaws. Like someone has something, bad in them and it goes wrong. But what I don't understand is how in this there's no like, how'd you find this idea, or was it just prayer? Like how? I feel like if you do something, there shouldn't be a semblance of like you tried to undo it. Like they came up with these fireball type things. I just feel like there should have been more. I want a solution to this problem. I feel like we have a pest control problem and we need like.
Well, speaking of, first of all, speaking of ceremonies, happy birthday.
Oh, thanks.
Happy birthday!
What a better birthday present than an awesome
Game of
Thrones episode. You know what's interesting is, I can't remember which season it was, but the White Walkers now are autonomous. They can create their own White Walkers by taking, remember the...
little babies.
The babies, right? And touching them in the forehead, and that's how they create White Walkers. But this first one, there had to be a first one.
Yes.
And I think it's interesting that, at first I was always assuming, and I don't know if there's something else in the books, Kyle, that these White Walkers kind of predated man almost, or then maybe they kind of arrived at the same time, but now we know for certain that the White Walkers came from the first men, the original first men.
I'm wondering if it's also kind of like a queen bee mentality, where if you kill the queen, like what happens to the rest of the hive?
Oh, so
like if they kill the Night's King, do like maybe not the White Walkers, but do maybe the Whites go away or actually die?
That's a good question.
Or something. Like, is it of you hit
like
the
if you
source,
cut off the head of the dragon,
and everything collapses?
That's a very interesting theory.
That's what I'm curious about.
Look at all those happy birthdays from the live chat. It's just flooding.
Thanks, guys.
This is not a happy scene we're talking about. Stop trying to bring this up from the scary stuff.
Sad birthday.
So yeah, we have. We'll be figuring that out. Possibly that might potentially be the solution to this problem. I mean, my question was when I watched it, I immediately thought that the children of the forest created this to then kill the men, because the others, the White Walkers, are the are supposed to invade the rest of Westeros and destroy men's civilization. And it seems like at that point, with the Children of the Forest were fighting with the men, that's what they would have wanted. And then they got out of hand. I didn't think that this... I didn't realize that this was their punishment, or this was their fight. This was their strategy against the men to actually just turn them into things. So I don't know if they were using them for a weapon or this was the actual fight, but I don't know. We'll find out about it. Well, we still have a lot to figure out, even though we figured out some.
I asked the chat how they think the White Walkers will ultimately be defeated, and Brad says that dragons will be involved, I'm sure.
Well, what we know also from this is we've always known that their weaknesses are, or for at least the Whites, not the White Walkers, is fire. Who knows if dragon fire would be the next element that maybe would kind of step that up
glass,
enough.
Dragon fire,
Yeah,
dragons.
to
Can we
do the
make more
White
dragon
Walkers.
glass with dragon fire?
That way supposedly been lost. And then on top of that, we did have a White Walker killed by a thrown staff that I still think we're debating. Hopefully the chat can help us out. If there was dragon glass on the end of the staff.
There had to be dragon glass.
Right?
Yeah.
There had to be.
Yeah. The
Okay.
little
Argument over.
Fine.
So later in the vision, we have Bran walking through this army of whites that cannot see him. He's walking through there in front of the tree that he is sleeping in at that point. So we find out later on that he's just seeing a little bit into the future here. But he walks through and he comes across the 4 White Walkers, the 4 horsemen, kind of in the back there. And the Night King turns and sees him. And then he's behind him and he touches him. And so now we know that the Night King can see through these visions. He can see Bran through these visions. And we find out right after that he now has access to this cave.
And Bran has been marked.
Bran has been marked.
Is
which
this
means-
because was Bran green seeing without the supervision of the three-eyed raven? Did
Yes.
he go in to the root?
he should
on
have
his
never
own?
done that.
But he was destined to do it. Because if
Destined.
he didn't get marked, then the White Walkers wouldn't have found him, and Hodor wouldn't have been Hodor.
There you go.
Right? So everything that
it's
happened in this
destiny.
episode was destined to happen, in a sense.
This is gonna get
We're
confusing,
gonna get- yeah,
viewers. We're getting
yeah.
into time travel loops and different things, and I think we need to keep in mind that every story, every movie, every TV show that does time travel kind of does it in their own ways. You can sort of write your own rules when you're writing this story. So I think we really need to keep that in mind as we continue forward with this. But so he now has access, and later on, we get the battle. He has found him, and he's coming in. And we get this giant scene where the whites are coming in, they're battling and everything, and we get Hodor's origin story. And Ryan just made a noise, and I really want to know what he's talking about over here.
I just made a noise. Because I read something in the live chat that was awesome. Moeen Mir said quite plainly, Three-Eyed Raven is Bran from the future?
Is Bran from the future? So
Like
that's
a-
old man Bran?
Like an old Spock kind of thing, like a Star Trek kind of thing. So the Three-Eyed Raven is Bran in the future, who comes back to fulfill that loop.
I mean, he does say you will be me,
I like that.
but you
Brain
won't be.
twisting
But
there.
you won't be tied to this tree because.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe it because
Yeah, I don't think so.
no, it doesn't fly with me because
Why is he
old,
tied to a tree?
The old man in
Can't
the
walk?
tree says lots of times that Bran's going to become more powerful than him. If he's going to become more powerful than when he's young, when he gets older, his power isn't going to weaken. I mean, I guess it could, but I don't think so. I think they're two separate beings, two separate persons. And
I agree with Kyle.
Yeah.
Also, I want to know
I think
if
it's a
the
good theory.
touch of the Night's King is like grayscale, and is this going to spread?
Oh,
You thought grayscale. I kind of thought like the black spot from Pirates of the Caribbean, where you just get like tracked by the Kraken.
I that's what I
Now
agree.
everyone knows.
I think he's going to be able to find him wherever he goes now. There's no hiding from him. So now we're going to force a confrontation.
Yeah.
But we get the origin of Hodor
good theory, guys.
right
Oh,
here.
gosh.
Okay, so here we go. Things are going to get
Hold the
complicated.
door.
So we got a timeline. Ryan drew it out here, but
Yeah, a little bit.
so Bran is the cause for Hodor being Hodor. He was Willis. He goes back in time, and he's the inciting event for Hodor's mind breaking and turning into Hodor, which we find out is the abbreviated version of Hold the Door.
right, the Mad Gab version.
Yeah.
Hold the door.
Because
Hodor. Got it.
Because it's this weird thing where Mira is yelling at Bran, but Bran is still in the past. And so it's actually through Bran's thoughts and Mira's words, it hits Willis and kind of breaks his mind and creates Hodor, which has been the Hodor that Bran has known his entire life.
Which is fascinating because the existence that this whole Game of Thrones reality sits in is the way it is because of what happened on this episode.
Yes.
I mean, everything that's transpired pretty much has been set in time.
But what they haven't yet established is, although, as Kyle pointed out, the biggest section of this is that Bran was able to change the past.
Yes.
Is that now, by saying that Bran was able to change the past, we do not know if there could be kind of, I guess, alternate Game of Thrones timelines. Because if Bran can change the past, could he go now further back in the past of which he already changed? It's just a...
It seems like he's not changing
absolutely.
the past, he's changing the future. Because we still got future Hodor. That's what confused me, is that he still was able to age.
Well, that's
Well,
the thing,
it's
because he doesn't kill Hodor when he was Willis or as a child. He just sort of snapped his mind, and then Hodor continues to grow, and several years later, Bran is born, and then Hodor continues on, and Bran continues on, and then
Right.
Hodor's mind basically has to stay stuck.
Technically,
And stuck and fried and broken.
so all this time Hodor's been hearing Mira's voice through Bran, like all this time, every time he says Hodor.
what's interesting is that if you want to look at it, I don't know.
very
Time
friendly
travel
for that going on.
is always messy to play with, but I feel like he didn't technically change the past because Hodor has always been Hodor. They've always been living in that reality. So Bran didn't go back and change anything. This had already happened.
For this timeline.
Timeline talk.
Cannot debate time travel. Don't try.
Hodor.
We should move on.
So yeah. so there we go. Bran is the reason.
Of this time.
We're never going to agree with
Deja vu.
There was one other horrifying thing that happened in this scene that I need to discuss. Summer is dead.
Oh.
Oh,
Are we sure?
they are dropping like flies. Do we only have Ghost and Nymeria left? Is that
Yeah.
it?
And we don't even know where Nymeria is.
know where she is. Ah.
We didn't see Dead Summer.
That is
Oh,
Scrappy
they
Dog.
were.
We didn't see Dead Summer.
We didn't. Okay.
We've
I
seen
mean-
far more wolf heads.
She was yelping pretty good. But
What if she's a
What about
White
Scrappy
Walker
Dog?
now?
Shaggy Dog.
Shaggy Dog, sorry.
Scrappy Dog.
Scrappy Dog. Okay, don't
That'd be cool.
don't
Also
hurt me.
very
Hurt me,
scary.
chat. Don't hurt me. Shaggy Dog. That head, that wolf head, seemed kind of small. Maybe
That's the theory going around that it was all
I
a
heard,
plant.
I heard that
It was all
theory.
a plant. Well, let's put this to bed.
Moving on.
Ryan.
Can there be a White Walker dog, though?
Nice segue there,
There you
Kyle.
go. White Walker dog? Oh, yes, there can, actually. There are horses
Direwolf?
and things. But Ryan, I think
Yes.
there's some...
Direwolf.
Well,
Thank
you know
you.
what? I'm going to let the live chat just mourn Summer and kind of debate this whole time travel circle thing going on. While you do that, we're going to take just a tiny little break because we have sponsors for this show that make AfterBuzz TV and all the shows that we do here at this network possible to be free for viewers like you. And our sponsor here tonight is Casper Beds. If you ever, what kind of mattress do you guys use? I have a spring, but I had one of those foam tops before.
I need a new one bad.
Well, get a Casper, because listen to this. The Casper is an obsessively engineered mattress at a shockingly fair price. It combines springy latex and sportive memory foam to create an award-winning sleep surface with just the right sink and just the right bounce.
Well, that's the thing, because I'm a big memory foam guy. And I try to, like, buy a separate one and put it on the mattress, and it never fits, and it slides off, and it's a pain in the butt. And I hate doing that.
Get rid of it. And get one of these because there's free shipping and returns in the U.S. You can try Casper for free, Kyle, for 100 nights risk-free in your own home. If you don't love it, they'll pick it up and they'll refund you everything. Okay, this bed is made in America. And we have a special offer for listeners of this show. You can get $50 towards any mattress purchased by visiting www.casper.com/AfterBuzz. You use the promo code AfterBuzz, all caps, and that's $50 towards your purchase right there. Risk-free, 100 nights free, and try to sleep on it at least.
There you go. The thing I found most, it won Time Magazine's one of its best inventions of 2015. Not just mattress, inventions of 2015. This thing is crazy.
It sounds like a dream,
I
Kyle.
was checking it out, man. It looks. I hate sleeping on an old mattress. So
there you go. Casper Beds. Check it out. Casper.com/AfterBuzz. Use the promo code AfterBuzz for $50 towards your purchase. Thank you, Casper, for
And thank you, listeners.
sponsoring us, and thank you, listeners, for watching.
So back
Next
to the
up,
to the thing.
Max, it's time to wake up, back to reality.
Boom.
Boom.
So
Talk about more dead direwolves.
dead
Yeah.
direwolves.
No.
We're just in
White
denial.
Walkers,
Straight
direwolves.
denial.
So let's go to Sansa and Jon. Sansa meets up with Littlefinger at Molestown, and she is not too happy about this situation. What did you think about this encounter, Sarah? What's going on? How did you feel about
Okay.
this? Were you with Sansa?
I've been trying to kind of let Sansa kind of build back my affection for Sansa. A couple seasons ago, she was whiny. She was kind of annoying. I didn't felt like she really owned her name as a Stark. Didn't really deserve to wear it for a little bit. I'll say it, whatever. And and now she's really trying to go back and embrace her family, embrace the North. She is trying to defy those who I guess have stood against her. I am not fully on board with Sansa yet. She's still faltering.
Okay.
She's a
She's-
stupid girl. Stupid
Kristen,
girl.
Kristen, what do you think about Sansa
I feel
right
like
now?
she found her voice, and the fact that she wanted to go take, Winterfell back and their home back. I feel like this old Sansa would have never done this, and the fact that she is kind of aligning the troops. I'm not sure why she lied to Jon, but I want to ask you guys, what was she talking about? She still feels what Ramsay did to her in her body. Now, to me, that sounds like she might be pregnant.
Yeah, I had that thought when he said that. I did. And
That's interesting. I was thinking
Yeah.
physical pain.
Yeah.
Like she's still in physical pain.
I hope that's all it is.
Yeah, she did word it kind of weird. What he did inside my body.
Yeah.
That was
I still feel right now.
you thought of pregnancy. I thought all kinds of weird stuff. I didn't think pregnancy. That's a better
I
theory.
did like that she was so direct about the position and the harm she was put in and did not back down or let Peter kind of control her, but I also don't think it's the wisest move to send people who are willing to fight for you away.
Yes,
Yeah.
because Littlefinger has the Knights of the Vale, which is, which, as far as we know, is a very sizable, very powerful army. They have not been involved in the war yet, and they are at Moat Cailin, which is right on the doorstep. That is the entryway to the north. And so they are there, and she says, "No, I don't want to see you anymore. We don't
She
need
says,
this."
no, I don't want to see you anymore. And then she doesn't let everyone else know who's planning this battle with her that these troops could be at the disposal.
Yeah.
She keeps that whole separate together. She just leaves out hundreds, maybe thousands of men
I agree.
without any
This is
discussion.
crucial. This is crucial information and potential war strategy that could turn the tides. I mean, when Peter Baelish comes knocking on your door with an army,
Yep.
I mean, you tell your brother. This is, you got Davos, you got Jon. They're planning this attack. They're clearly struggling to find men, and she's withholding information. I know she's okay. People are going to be saying, she's playing the game. She's learning how to play the game. I don't agree with it.
No.
Well,
Not
I have
big
to
enough?
ask you guys a question. Ryan and I were sort of chatting about it online, but there's this theory going around that maybe Ramsay didn't write the letter because he's not really poetic, and people are saying that we think it could be Littlefinger because he's more poetic. He went to the Vale and assembled this army before he really knew what was going on, and I don't know. He could be waging
trying
this
to
war.
get the action going.
There you go.
It could be.
I think so.
Okay.
I think
Do
he
you-
could be using the Starks to, defeat Ramsay so that.
Do you guys pay
take the
attention to
North.
news outside the show about the show? I don't know if
I try not to.
Because there was somebody
bit.
who worked on the show who commented on that. So I don't know if we want to keep that theory alive, or do you want me to say what he said?
Slay
or-
the theory.
All right.
Sorry, guys.
There you go. If you don't want to know, turn
Turn
off.
it down for a
But
minute.
I believe it was the director of the episode. Oh, there we go.
Oh, sorry.
Nice. I like it.
Spoiler alert.
Said that letter was indeed written by Ramsay.
Okay.
So that is out there.
Yeah.
So, okay, there you go.
All right.
Okay.
Red
Red
lights
lights
off.
I had another question. We got multiple questions kind of posed to Littlefinger today. One of them being, of course, what do you think he did to me, which he answered. But also, well, the questions that raised for me is Peter actually sorry? And what lengths would he be willing to go for Sansa if he is sorry?
Are you saying would he have died right there? Would he have let Brienne strike him down at that moment? No, you
freaking
don't.
way. No.
But is he sorry?
No.
None.
No.
Do you think it's all part of the strategy? I think he's got a blind spot where Sansa is concerned, and I think he kind of loses his game a little bit.
I think it's more interesting. I don't want to get lost in another kind of Ramsay hole where everything is just hate, hate, hate. I like people to have a weakness. And so it's more engaging for me to believe that Sansa could be a weakness for him than to have him 100% solo all the time with nothing like to hold him back besides power. Like Ramsay, you're just kind of lost in it. You're just kind of like, okay, how many people can you torture?
Yep.
How long can this go on for? When are you gonna die? I think you crave for characters to have some sort of like desire and connection, because then
they have a flaw.
Yeah, then
which
they have
is
a flaw.
fun to watch.
Yes, versus just that he hates everyone.
Yeah,
I'm
and he's
I'm not on
conniving
board.
everything. So we get all this battle plan talk, and another very strategic thing that we learned through this conversation with Littlefinger is that Brynden the Blackfish, who is Sansa's uncle, Catelyn's brother, Catelyn's uncle. Sorry. Catelyn's uncle, my apologies, has returned to Riverrun, gathered the remaining Tully forces, and retaken Riverrun. So we've got some Stark loyalists back down there, and we got another player in the game.
Yeah, finally some news.
Because if you guys don't remember, the last time we saw Blackfish was, I think he went out to take a pee right before the Red Wedding, and then he sort of disappeared. We never saw the guy again. And he's a favorite of mine. I'm a huge fan of him.
I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, he's kind of a rude, crude dude here in the show, but I like the book version, so it carries over into this one. But yeah, so he's around. The Tully forces are there, and this is what you were talking about, that Sansa lies to Jon about these forces being here. So yeah, we get that, and
so that just builds into the inevitable, I guess, war between the standing north and the surrounding north.
There you go. They'll come up in a second. So tell me, guys, did Brienne ride out with them at the end? Because Sansa was like, Brienne, I want you to go down to Riverrun. I want you to tell them that we need their help up here. But then does Brienne ride out with them in the end? I didn't see her riding out with them.
I didn't.
I might have blinked and missed it.
You just see the part. I just noticed the part where she's on horseback and Tormund's, 2 horses
Yes,
over.
I'm
there's
so
a
glad they're
look.
continuing to tease that.
Oh, it's fantastic. I love that part too.
So
I like how she
they're definitely
and that Tormund character.
saddled up and ready.
She's thinking about him.
She's thinking about him. He's
yeah.
getting in her head there. So the last thing they do is they ride out, and they're going to ride around the north and gather all the smaller houses of the north, which hopefully together will equal the forces of the Karstarks, the Umbers, and the Boltons, so they can bring the fight to them. So they got a lot of work to do. The north is a big place, so it's going to take them a little while, or maybe an episode.
And a lot of names in those small houses that we have a lot of history
Yes,
with.
Serwins, and they talk about White Harbor and everything, which is the Manderleys.
We'll see how many of those houses we get to see, or if we just pass over it.
Gonna be fun. So let's go to another great house of Westeros. We go over to the Iron Islands. We go to Pike, and the King's Moot is happening here. And they call upon someone to step up, try to claim the throne, and Yara is the first at bat. What did you think about Kristen, what did you think about Yara stepping up there? Would you vote for her?
Absolutely. I mean, I vote for all women who people follow. I mean, honestly, the fact that she then storms off with all the ships, I mean, all the men who obviously followed her, I don't understand how this went down. I feel like if they went by vote, she would have won. I mean, I don't even understand.
Well, they gave her a huzzah right there at the beginning, but that wasn't the
They
the final
did,
vote.
and then they started cheering for Euron, but I'm just like, if she was able to take all those men and all those ships, I feel like that was the majority, but I guess not.
Oh, no, she didn't. I didn't think she actually took. Did she take? That was actually my question right there. How many ships did she end up taking in the end?
Looks like she took a lot.
Just the best ones.
They said all of them, and that now they have to build.
Said all the best ships.
All the best
best
But it
ships.
looked like a lot.
I was confused if they were just looking.
They just let them go and they floated off.
No, that was my question. It was really like, how many men does she have with her?
Sizable.
But with the escape shots, when you actually were seeing them, it wasn't that big of a crowd. And then when you do the wide shot of a bunch of ships, it's unclear to me. But what I wanted to say is that the plan that Euron presents, the traveling around the world, getting a big fleet together to go
to court Daenerys. It's great.
Well, I think the basis of his plan is very solid, but I found it ironic because I think that if Yara was heading and had those ships, she would have such a better chance of actually gaining loyalty, or not companionship, but like
fealty. I don't know if she's really
not fealty, but
partnership.
allies.
Allies.
They'd be able to be.
Sure.
She'd be.
But I don't think that's that's on her radar. I don't think she ever considered that. She's not interested in global domination. She just wants to hold the Iron Islands, get revenge for who she needs to get revenge for, and stand strong. Be
So
a good
where
leader.
are they going? Are they going to help Sansa?
I want them to get to her ahead of them, because Daenerys needs ships. Her whole fleet is burned to the ground.
Yeah. But she's probably going to need more ships than that.
That's true.
Quite a few there. But Yara wouldn't do that because Yara would then have, maybe an ally, but Euron sees it as a conquest, as a queen. And so he can be king, she can be queen, and they can rule together.
Yeah, I know.
So Yara obviously can't do that.
The ally's the better deal.
So that's the plan, and they're going over there. I thought Euron won a little too easy. I agree with you.
He did.
I'm in a sinking chair. My chair keeps sinking,
Going
just
down,
just like Euron sank in the ocean there.
Yeah, how about that scene where he drowns and they're all just kind of standing around like. What
We were all like,
what
don't
do
wake up.
what do
Don't
we
wake up.
do?
Stay drowned.
It was a great ceremony, though.
Yeah, it was.
For an episode, we had a
Yeah.
couple ceremonies. I thought that this ceremony
Powerful.
of the kind of drowning him, making them drown, was great. They held it out. It was long. It was
The words.
Yeah.
the words. The
They
whole
finally
thing.
make sense now, right? What is dead may never
Yeah,
die.
Sarah, I'll ask you one more question before we move on, but I got to ask this every week. Are you liking Theon more?
No.
Okay,
Oh,
moving
come
on.
on.
So we
He
head
just-
over.
He cut his hair and everything. He looks
Yeah.
good.
There you go.
Theon
I
is-
like that. I like that he
I don't
stepped up.
hate
but-
him anymore.
Okay.
I don't like him.
There you go. Do you like Arya?
I love Arya.
Nice. What do you think about her training here? What do
Oh,
you
with
think
the staffs?
with the waif, and we find out that no lords or ladies are faceless men. Is she right for this? Is she in the right place? Is she doing the right thing?
Is she doing the right thing? Yes, because we need her to be a skilled warrior. Is she going to become a faceless man in the sense that how they have always been? No. We've already established that no matter what, she will never be exactly like the rest of them. And I think that that's not going to be the only change she makes to these people. I don't know if she'll have to go out solo or if they will change with her, but
So are you saying she will rule them?
I'm saying that would be
Because I would love that. The faceless army.
Faceless army. Your spirit animal. You loving Arya over here?
Oh yeah, of course.
You with her? What did you
Yeah,
think?
Definitely.
What did you see? How did you read into her while she was watching this play?
As Sarah mentioned, I think Ryan did too, she's obviously still Arya Stark. She can keep saying she's not, and she has no name, but this play clearly affected her, and they knew what they were doing, I feel like, by sending her off to watch this. The killing of her father.
I also thought it was interesting that there was not a role of Arya in this play because she was present and they had Sansa. And like, I thought
No one knows she was present.
I
though.
know that, but I
Okay.
thought that was like a very interesting point.
Yeah, she
'Cause
kind of
in
lost
the
in time,
she
right?
was no one.
No one really
and
talks
she's
about her.
watching from the crowd, the same place she watched when the actual deed was happening. No one knowing she was there, no one knowing she's here. But I think that was very much intentional from the Faceless Men. I think they knew how to recreate.
There we go.
But I just thought it was very interesting that we did not. I was interested if she was going, and what actress she was going to have to kill. Would it be more interesting if the actress she was actually killing was the Sansa role? Was any of these?
Well, the one she does have to get, which is Cersei,
It's
right?
on her list.
is on her list.
It was
it's kind
portrayed
of-
so nicely, by the way.
That was a nice play.
There you go.
I enjoyed it. I just want to jump to the live chat real quick. P. Baz says the faceless gods are just hired assassins.
Yeah.
And I tend to agree. I think that it was a beautiful story that Jaqen told about the faceless men,
Slaves from
slaves, and coming in
Bolivia.
and begin founding the city of Bravos. And I think it was beautiful how they have that history. But at this point now, it's probably become so diluted. Now, I mean, what point do the faceless men have anymore? They're just really good killers. I mean, they're serving the god of death, but they're also
'cause
serving
serving
themselves.
money.
Death is a gift and should be
The
given.
gift.
But yeah,
needs to be given,
they've been assassins for as long as we've known them. So I believe there's talk in the first season about sending a faceless man to kill Daenerys with a Robert Small Council there. So they have been that for a while, and they are pricey. Expensive assassins.
I'm
Right.
just saying we're setting them up that they need some internal change, and someone small and brunette could lead them to
He's just
that.
gonna
I
shake
want to
it up.
ask you guys one more question. Who's paying? Is it the younger actress that's paying for the older actress to die?
I have no reason to doubt what Arya thought. So I think she was right in that it's the Sansa actress who's paying to kill him because she's jealous. That's a lot of money if they're pricey.
Yeah, I can't imagine she's making too much on that stage, but okay.
She has other things she can sell.
That's a good production.
I thought about that.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Actress Lady.
Let's talk about some
Crane.
more. What's
Oh,
that?
I was going to say actress Lady Crane. Also, the only other reference I think we've had to actors is when Varys was traveled with a troupe of actors as a kid.
That's
We
right.
got the actors. We got Joffrey's wedding had the
And-
show in it.
That's true.
Battle of the Five Kings.
That's true.
So continuing on with love here, we go to Daenerys and Jorah and the heartbreaking scene of the week. We got a
This
This
graphic
was
where
my
like a heart
favorite
breaks.
part of the entire episode.
Kristen, let me know what you thought.
It's just like, they build on this for so long. I really wanted this to be like in her chamber. I wanted them to be alone without Dario. Like, I really didn't like how he finally confessed his love to her. Just like in broad
No?
daylight like that. Like, who says I love you for the first time in broad daylight?
He just needs to.
Are you
He
kidding
doesn't
me?
know when he's gonna
This is
see her
not
again.
romantic.
This was the end. These were
I
the
don't-
final words.
No, but she said, I can't keep you, I can't send you away. So, like this was just, I've been waiting, and
That was
like,
before-
this was just not the right time.
That was
I
before
felt
she
like.
realized that it was because of her banishment that he contracted
Grayscale.
grayscale. And she felt bad, and she's like, geez. And he still came back for me. Well, you know what? There's a loophole to what I just said. You still have to listen to me. Go find a cure. Where do you think he's going to
Yeah.
go
I
to
don't
find
think
his
she
cure?
blames herself for the grace.
But she's got to feel somewhat
I think she
bad,
feels
right?
bad and is like, I care about you so much. I don't want you to die. But I don't think she's like, oh, that's my fault.
Yeah, okay.
I think he will find a cure, though. She commanded him,
Well,
said she
do,
needed
do you think
him.
he will?
Well, here's the thing.
already
We
established
have
there's one.
Shireen,
Yeah.
remember? And Stannis had the story where he said he seeked out every medical person, magic. I don't even remember all the things he listed to bring to her to try and stop it, and it seemed to halt the grayscale. Now we don't know the full story behind that or whatnot, but there is this possibility that it can be stopped.
It can be.
if not reversed. So whether it's by magic or by some maester's potion or something, we have yet to find out. But Jorah is now sent on a mission to find out what that is.
So we have hope.
We have hope. We have hope.
Hope for Jorah.
There you go. I just picture him as this old gray-scaled man on the bridge somewhere
No,
going,
hashtag.
I gotta go to Daenerys. I gotta find my cure.
Wait, did he just transform to Hodor? Or what?
Yeah, I think Davos is the way to go.
Davos will know?
I think that he would know better than anyone else. Stannis is dead, and he was around when
That's
they...
across the seas, though.
There's a lot of options. Though. He
Yes.
could also go home.
What about
He
the
could
new
go
red
home,
woman?
Go to...
Ooh.
The new red woman.
Speaking of the new Red Woman, I guess we can head over to Marine, where a fragile peace has formed between the slaves and the masters and the sons of the Harpy and all that stuff. There haven't been any deaths since the discussion last episode. So far things are all right. I mean, plans are probably brewing on both sides for some evil things, but right now we have a peace right here. Do you think it's lasting?
The piece? Oh, definitely not. When does it last? But now we have Kinvara. Is that how we say her name? Kinvara?
Yes, if you want to know the full name, Kinvara, High Priestess of the Red Temple of Volantis, the Flame Truth, the Light of Wisdom, and the First Servant of the Lord of Light. Kinvara. Yes.
So
I think
she's
now that
super
we
old.
have
So
her.
she's probably really old. Think about that, yeah.
So, sorry, yes, she's really. Do you guys think she's glamoring too? Do you think they're all?
course.
Are you
Definitely.
assuming they're all? Every priest you run into now, you're assuming is going to be an old person?
She's
think
Well,
we
I
have
was
to.
assuming they were all very pretty young women for the most part. Well, of the females we've seen.
Okay.
They've
Was,
all
was
been young and
Thoros
pretty.
an old man? Back with
He
Beric
didn't have no
Dondarrion?
choker.
He probably had a bracelet hanging out somewhere.
You'd think he'd make himself look a little younger, though. I mean, he was kind of beat up.
So let's talk about
I know.
the reason that they bring her in, right? They need someone to go amongst the people in Marine and sort of let the word out that Daenerys is doing good things. And she says it, but do they want their name out too? Does Tyrion want them to know that he is also helping the people? She says it, but are we to believe her with that?
The the last time that the crown sought the help of the other pillar, the religious pillar of the world, I mean, look what happened there. You know, you got the High Sparrow ruining things. Now you're gonna have Kinvara ruining things.
Yeah.
There can only be there's 2 ways, good or bad. And I mean, it's
So you need 3 pillars.
You need a third pillar, dragons.
Dragons.
Yeah.
Dragons. But we have this encounter between Varys and the Red Priestess, and I really enjoyed this part of it. Varys is this anti-magic guy because of the horrible things that have happened in his past when his bits were thrown onto the fire, and he heard these voices and everything. And Kinvara brings this back up, and she seems to know what the voice was. Do you guys have an idea? Sarah, what was this voice he heard?
Well, I was trying to remember so much, like what we exactly heard the last time. What I was finding really interesting is that it kind of worked twofold, because Varys was speaking up and being very aggressive, more aggressive than I think we typically see him, and it's with Tyrion, and Tyrion was the only person who I think we know he's really shared this full story with. So even though it was kind of proving a power or an insight that our High Priestess has explicitly to Varys, it was also proving that to Tyrion, because
Right.
he knows it.
She was letting it be known. Hey,
Yeah, and it was a
don't
piece of
doubt me.
information that those two kind of shared. As far as the voice goes, I haven't had any like very strong theories yet about it.
Maybe
But
a voice of long-standing destiny. You know, you will stand at the foot of the leader of the free world, or something that is like generally maybe driven his whole life, his whole purpose, his whole being, and for someone to know something that intimate and life-changing about you, I mean, it makes you really like putty in their hands. You're almost vulnerable
Like,
to
how
them.
do you know?
And, yeah, that was the most influential moment of my whole life, and I've never told anyone that, and
That's very creepy.
powerful stuff.
I always assumed that the voice he heard was like R'hllor, was this red god just speaking to him. But this conversation made me think it's something different. Like it's
a
somebody's,
communication
like it's like
beacon.
Daenerys' voice that he heard or something or
Oh,
whatnot.
I like that.
And then I mean, I just thinking about it right here, that we've had a voice from the past and the future that's been speaking to people lately, which is Bran's, which is just really weird because that's just some cockamamie theory. I don't know, but that has been happening, and then we get this talk about the voice.
and we also get
a
that
voice.
it's blue. Oh, it was a blue flame.
Was it a blue flame?
Correct.
Really?
I might have been making that up. I'm pretty sure.
Listeners?
This is from like my memory of like trying to remember the original conversation, and I want to say that Varys said in the original telling of the story that it was a blue flame.
I think Ryan is getting some confirmation,
Well,
or
we got
just a-
someone.
We got Urgently Duck, nice, and Trey Lee both saying that the voices in the flames speaking to Varys was Bran.
So
So they agree.
oh, jeez. I'm sorry. I guess I'm glad I brought that up. That's
They're agreeing. They like the theory, and
wow.
it very well could be, because I mean his voice has traveled through space and time before.
Usually my theories do not hold water, so I'm glad there's
I
at
like
least
that
two
one.
people kind of bringing that up there.
Definitely.
So Varys has never met Bran, so we don't have him knowing the actual voice, but we have that possible stuff. So yeah,
So she's here to stay, at least for now. Kinvara.
absolutely.
And she tells them that Dany is the one who was promised, and now we have, of course, Jon Snow and Dany being told that they're the ones who are
We're
promised.
just adding up people who have been promised. They just keep on coming.
Yeah.
Hey, you're promised, birthday girl.
There we go.
Yeah, that's the thing. So she believes that Dany was promised, and now Melisandre now believes that Jon was promised. Is it possible there are two princes and
think
princess
so.
that were promised?
I do. I
Does
think
They're
so.
the power.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be just one, right?
They say the one, I believe, who was promised.
Yeah?
I'm pretty sure that's the wording, but
Okay,
I'm not
possibly.
positive.
I don't know.
So we'll see. I want to know if I want to know if the priestesses get along. Like, I want to know what would happen if you put our high priestesses in a room together. If it's like friendship
seems like-
or like you're all idiots.
It seems like they would disagree.
I remember seeing the look on Melisandre's face when powers were happening in front of her eyes that she didn't have the ability to perform. At least that I saw jealousy. I saw a yearning for power. I think that every priestess kind of wants to be closest as they possibly can to the god of fire or whatever god they worship, and so they want to be right, and they hold strong to their convictions. And so whoever happens to have a vision, and also if that person has an army, then you're going to back them because you want to be right. You want to speak the word of God, and you want it to be true.
Well, I really like that line that she said everyone is what they are and where they are for a reason. Because it just like makes you think about all the storylines that are going on right now and how a lot of them are in transition or in training, and how it does seem that they are what they are and where they are for a reason right now, and that reason's going to show up later.
Believe it. So is there anything I missed, guys, that you want to chat before we get into our predictions? Any in your head?
Before predictions, nothing blowing my mind. But,
I was at a loss for words.
But I do always think about it when I rewatch the episode, and I caught a little bit more today, is everyone in this show puts so much effort into wardrobe, into hairstyles. They show character arcs and changes through those elements. I normally don't notice on our first watching through, but some obvious more ones are coming through. You have Jon not wearing as much black. His wardrobe is changing. Also, you had Dany go bold. Daenerys going bold today. For like seasons, we've seen her in whites and creams and blues, kind of like this flowing color, very keeping clean. And now things are changing. So
There you go.
we
I like
will,
it.
we will
Sansa's
see
back
how
to bright
this.
red.
Yeah,
Very
Sansa's
observant.
back to the bright red hair.
Yeah.
Stupid girl with her red hair.
And now Jon is looking more like Ed Stark
There you go.
in his...
Yeah,
with his
the-
emblem
the
and
Ned
everything.
Stark
Yeah.
outfit.
So what did Daenerys say she was conquering with Jorah right at the end there? She said, "When I conquer, I want you at my side." Did she say a specific place?
The Seven Kingdoms is what she said.
Yeah?
Did she?
I think she's made her mind up on the whole world.
There you go.
Yeah.
She's taking it all.
I was
You
like,
know what I mean?
it
Just take it
implied
all.
everything.
Yeah, she said when she takes the Seven Kingdoms, she
Boom.
needs him by her side. I wrote it down.
Nice. Yes,
Hold
she's heading
the
back there.
Hold the
So let's
door.
go into prediction,
Hold the
guys. Let's
door.
talk about the coming weeks. Let's do it.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Sam is headed home. Are you guys excited for this? Do you care? Do you care about Sam?
No.
No? No Sam?
Just go-
Ryan, you were smiling. You're a Sam fan. Come on.
I am a Sam
Are
fan.
you excited to see him go home?
I mean, he's gonna go read books. If you want to go watch him read books. Oh yeah. Oh, to home. To where was his home?
He's in Hornhill, was it?
Hornhill.
I got my notes for last week.
That is gonna be interesting
The
to see
only
his family.
reason I want him to go home is if maybe they were killed and they're not there anymore, and then that would give him some motivation. But him going home and introducing him to his family,
It's like,
I
here's
don't
my
want
wildling
I
girlfriend.
don't
That's
want
going to go
that.
over well,
Hey, Dad.
right?
Yeah.
I left the Night's Watch and married a wildling, and now I have a son named Sam Jr.
You know, I'm going to be a maester. It's going to be great. That's what you
Can you
always
watch
wanted.
over them while I go read books? please?
Oh, man.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
So the big thing it looks like is coming up is the confrontation with the High Sparrow.
Yes, on the
Yes.
steps.
Is that the Tyrell army? Is that the City Watch? What is going on? Are we going to get a battle? What is happening? What is going
It
on
looks
with
like
them?
Marjorie is about to walk.
Yep.
And then that's when things turn.
And they bring a force there, and there's gonna be some bloodshed. There's gonna be some bloodshed.
Someone has to die.
Yes.
The High Sparrow.
We're
has
gonna
to die.
kill someone's dead.
Who do you guys think? Who is your next big death? In the
High
show?
Sparrow is definitely dying next week.
Okay.
Or else he's gonna have to walk.
I think the death that would be the least impactful for at least me, like emotionally as a viewer, is if they kill Loras. Like, he's there. I
Okay.
think could be a pretty kind of easy kill, but it could be motivation. Like, this is the future of their house, all of this stuff. But I think he might be an easy kill if they want to keep the High Sparrow for longer.
Okay. All right. Ryan, you got any predictions on that? Is the chat giving us some predictions?
It's just giving me a lot of funny stuff.
A lot of funny stuff over there.
Azakai said Sam is going to spend all summer playing RuneScape and drinking Code Red. Fantasy Stats Guru says Bran is going to Uber up a dragon to get him around. And Uber up
That'd be great.
Uber dragon.
There you go.
I'd pay for that.
Nice.
Let's see. Tywinosaurus Wax Prediction: we will find out that Euron is the one who was responsible for the burning of Daenerys' ships. However, Yara is going to reach Daenerys first.
That's a very interesting theory, because I actually thought that while he was saying she needs a fleet. How exactly would he know that she needs a fleet, right? Unless
like
he
it.
was the one that burnt it there.
The chess master.
I think that there's a chance that, this is what I want to happen at least, that Jorah is going to go home to the Mormonts.
To Bear Island?
Yes, and he's going to meet either Davos or Jon, because they're making the rounds of the small houses in the north, and through them, he's either going to start creating alliances, or he's going to find Sam or some cure, even though he should just go talk to Tyrion, because he might know something.
There you go.
I thought that too.
I'd like to predict that Peter Baelish is going to somehow make it known to Jon Snow that he has an army that can help, without making it known, because he doesn't want to betray Sansa's trust.
See, I think this whole conversation with Littlefinger was setting up as like, here comes the cavalry moment,
Right.
where they're going to get the houses of the north and they're going to fight and they're going to start losing, and it's going to look like they have lost the battle. And I think
And he's gonna come right
Littlefinger's
in.
going to come in.
Of course,
Save the
that's
day.
exactly
Exactly.
what's going to happen, because that's Littlefinger regaining Sansa's trust. That's exactly how he's going to do it.
Exactly, because that's the only way, right?
It's the only way.
Save her. There you go. Sarah does not look sold on that, but that's all right.
I've got one more prediction for you.
All right, lay it on us, man.
I predict that the best fans in the world will give us a thumbs up if they liked our video,
Oh.
and they'll subscribe if they don't want to miss another, and comment so that we can read their stuff. Tweet us, guys. You can find me at Ryan Malaty, and you can find her at,
Sarah_Stretton.
there you go.
I am at Cinematic Escape.
And you can find me at Kyle Maddock on Twitter. Thank you guys so much for watching this AfterBuzz TV after show for Game of Thrones Season 6, Episode 5, The Door.
Hold the door!
Hold the door!
Hold the door! Hold the door!
We'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
door!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Hold the door, hold the door, hold the door, hold the door.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.